channel those things to productive activities that will give us better results. So that's why it's very, very important for you to adhere to all this. Ensure materials of both persons laying around, phones, other uh, gadgets, smart devices, or anything that gives off a malpractice is found within 360 scanning of yours. So none of these materials mentioned should be found within 360 degrees scanning of your environment. When you scan the environment 360, so all these things should not be found. Otherwise, if a camera should see any of them, it's going to flag you. That's just the truth. It is going to flag you. And some will come and say, oh, I'm using my hotspot. So as I'm speaking with you right now, I'm using my hotspot. But my hotspot is very far away from me. So it's very, very far away and it's still picking and it's still working. So if your network is strong enough, you don't have to put it somewhere near where the 360 degrees environmental scan can capture it. Ensure there's enough light in your room. Ensure there's enough light in your room while writing the examination. Ensure there's enough light in your room, because once the camera senses that the room is dark, it's going to flag you for malpractice. So you have to be very, very careful. The test is automatically monitored. Hence, any violation will be recorded against you. Please, we need to be very, very careful. Be very, very careful, and ensure that where you are writing the examination, there is no human interference there. Your activity should be your activity alone. So there shouldn't be any human interference. You have to be very, very careful. So go to, by the time we send some ready material, this slide will be sent. If it has not been sent to you, you are going to have it before the examination. From it, you are going to find all the rules, though the rules are written at the back of your photo card for those who have their photo cards printed at the moment. For those of you who are yet to print, you are still going to print. And of course, if you're having difficulties in printing, send a message, a mail to exams@cipmnigeria.org. And my line is always open. I don't have a secret line. My line is always open 24/7. If you call me, I don't pick your call, please send a chat to 08025584274. 08025584274. I'll be there to put you through everything you need to know. So we may not be able to go through this one after the other because you have it already. It is documented and it will be circulated to you. Just ensure that before the examination, you read through everything and you have understanding. Where you are unclear, where you have any ambiguity, please, you can reach out to me through the line, through the phone number I dictated earlier, 08025584274. And the examination lines you are aware of are still open. At this point, before I ask okay, my name is Benga Odetunde. Benga Odetunde. So someone is asking what my name is. And Benga Odetunde, you can see it from the name on this call, Benga Odetunde. That's my name. Before we go to the next line of action, are there questions that you want to ask concerning the examination rules? Samuel, you need to help me bring out those questions. Use Q and A button to ask your questions. Please use Q and A button. Q and A button. Can we read out the questions to answer so as to understand since we are alone in the room? No, you cannot read out question. It's part of what we have written on this examination guideline. It is a very big offense for you to start reading out your examination. Please, I haven't registered yet. Please go and register. You still have time to register between now and 11:59 p.m. in order not to pay the late registration fee. If there is technical challenge, let us know, please. I've registered for, okay, good afternoon, sir. I've registered for exam. I can view my photo card, but how do I download it? Or do I have to print it out? So once you say print, it's going to download. Once you say, I'm talking to Fola Shade Oluwabukola, once you say print, it's going to download for you to be able to save. What browser are we going to use? Save exam browser. So Shegun is going to be answering many of these. Maybe I should wait when Shegun Oyegbeson finishes his presentation. We can come back here then pick the questions one after the other. I want to rest or step aside now for Shegun Oyegbeson to take over. Shegun Oyegbeson, over to you. Please share your screen. What Shegun Oyegbeson is going to be doing is to familiarize us with the examination platform. Everything you need to see, everything you will see while writing the exams, you will see it now. So it's running the demo of the examination platform. And if there are other questions, because I can see many of these questions you are asking at the moment, many of them will have been addressed by the time he finishes his presentation. Thank you. Over to you, Shegun. Hello, Shegun, can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. All right. So, good afternoon, everybody. So I'm going to take you through a walkthrough of the test platform so that you see what it looks like, the process of taking a test, and then I will share with you some important information. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing my screen now. Yes. So a test link will be shared with you where that you will be required to navigate to on exam day. Please, you need to ensure that you visit the right link, because part of the things we see that there are a few people who always mix up the links. Yeah, especially with the practice test link. So the link that you will share with you for practice test is very much different from the link that you will use to take the live examination and exam day. So when navigating, please always ensure that you are going to the correct link for the examination. Now, once you are on the page, you'll be required to put in your username and password, as I have done now. Now, once you are in on test day, the tab you are to navigate to is the Start Test button. So you can see this Start Test in bold. That's the link you're supposed to click on. Now, before I click on that, just wanted to point out something. There's a change password button here. Now, what we've also seen is that a few candidates before the examination go and change their password. And on examination day, they eventually forget what passwords they changed it to, and then they start calling and say they can't access the site. Now, there's no reason for you to change your password. But if you feel that you must change the password, you need to ensure that the password you are changing it to, you will always remember it. Please ensure that if you have to, like I said, changing password is not compulsory. But if for any reason, like you feel you want to change it, please make sure that it is a password you remember so that you don't call us and say your username and password is not working. Now, so I'm going to click on the Start Test button. Now, once that is done, as you can see, there's a Take Test button. Another thing I want to point out at this point is that if you come, because as mentioned earlier during the session, your username, your details will be communicated to you days before the examination day itself. So you will receive your details in advance. Now, if for any reason you log into the live site and you click on Start Test, this page will be blank. This page will only have details on it and this Take Test button at the exact date and time which your examination is supposed to commence. So even if you log in 5 minutes before the examination is supposed to start, this page will be blank. This page or Take Test button will only be visible once it has reached the time for your examination. So you need to take note of that. So I'm going to go ahead and click the Take Test button. Now, in starting up, the system is going to run me through a series of pre-test activities, some checks that need to be done. On this page here, there's some terms and conditions. Basically, it just outlines, our data privacy policy about, letting you know that your video and audio is going to be recorded strictly for examination purposes and what, how the process around how that is used. So you can always look through it by click on the terms and conditions button. Now, to move forward, you click on next. System is going to do an assessment before it takes me to the next screen. In this next screen, I'll be required to take a photograph like this. In taking your photograph, you need to ensure that the room that you are is properly lit such that the camera can see your face correctly. Your face is correctly aligned with the camera in front of you. Also, and sometimes we find out that sometimes if you're using lights, so your light bulb might be shining directly into your camera. So if your light bulb is shining directly, it's facing directly into your camera, it makes it difficult for the camera to pick your face properly. So you need to make sure that you're sitting in a position where, one, the room is very well lit, that the camera can see your face clearly, your face is positioned properly towards the camera, and you do not have any light bulbs shining directly into the view of the camera. Now, for the next step, the system is going to test your microphone and take a sample of your voice. So you'll be required to read a text on the screen. Once you have successfully done that, the system will automatically move you to the next step. In this step here, you are supposed to take a picture. So it's two things. So you either take a physical picture of your ID card. So, sorry, not your ID, your examination docket. So if you have printed a physical copy of your examination docket, you can lift it up to the camera and take a shot of it. Or if you have it saved on your computer, if you have it downloaded on your computer, you don't need to print it out. You simply click on this button here, and you can select where the location and upload the e-copy that you have on your system instead. But take note that if you have downloaded it in PDF, you need to change the format to PNG, JPG, or JPEG. Those are the three allowed formats: PNG, JPG, or JPEG formats. So you can only upload your examination dockets in these three formats. Another point is whichever option you're using, whether it's to take physically or upload it, you need to ensure that the picture on your docket is clear, so it's not blurred, and especially those that will print it out. If you're going to print it out and if you're doing black and white, if the system can't read the picture and see clearly what is on the document, you will not be able to move past this step. You will find it, you will keep seeing different different errors that is telling you that the image cannot be read because the file quality is poor. So you need to make sure that the quality of the document that you are taking a picture of or uploading, is very clear and it can be seen well by the system. So once that's done, you click on the finish button. And then the final step here, the system is going to require that you do a scan of your environment. So 360-degree scan of the room. You're supposed to scan, cover, show the floor, the table and the ceiling of your test environment where you're taking the test. You need to make sure that that is effectively recorded. Now, this step is very, very important. If you do not do this step properly, that automatically puts your test session, that gives you a flag already. Yeah, so you need to ensure that this recording is done properly. 360-degree view, because oftentimes we've seen people when they're supposed to do a 360-degree view, they just sit in front of their computer and stare at the computer screen, or they record just a portion of the room. They don't record the table. They don't record the floor. So you need to make sure that you record all these things. And there's a quick demo. So just by clicking on this play button, you could watch a quick demo on how this recording or how to record if you're not clear. So there's a guide there. Just play the video to show you exactly how it's done, and then you can do yours. So to do yours, you simply click on the start recording button like this, and you have the 1 minute to complete the recording. So once that's done, you click on submit, and then the system will take you into the examination itself for you to start. Yes, so just click on the next button and start test. Now, if you notice on the test screen, there's a small preview box here. At the bottom left here, there's a small preview box. Now, this preview box is to show you the camera view, so that there are some people that you cannot sit in a particular position for entire duration, especially if it's long. It's going to be for 2-3 hours. You might not be able to sit in a particular position. That feed is there so that you have an idea if you're sitting properly or not. So if your face for any reason is out of the view, for example, like this, from the camera, you will see it clearly. If for any reason there's anything that is impeding the view or blocking the view of the camera, you will see it. So the excuse of, I didn't know my camera wasn't properly positioned, I didn't know it wasn't recording properly, that will not be accepted, because that preview is there and it's going to remain there for the full duration of the examination, so that at any point in time, you know whether you are sitting properly, your camera is positioned properly, you see it clearly there. So you will notice that there's a timer at the top right of the screen counting down. This timer indicates the amount of time you have left to complete the subject you are writing. So that timer you will see at the top right indicates the amount of time you have left for that particular subject that you are writing. So if, for example, you finish one paper and you have another one immediately, and the paper will automatically start, you will see a fresh time allocated to that paper. You also need to take note that time is not transferable. So for instance, if you finish before time in this subject, and maybe you have 20 minutes left, you decide to move on to the next subject and start, that 20 minutes will not be transferred from the former, from the one you just completed into the new subject that you are writing. Also, because you have time left in a particular section, doesn't mean that when you submit, you can go back to it. Submission is final. So once you submit a particular subject, even if you have 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, doesn't matter. Once you have submitted, that is final. You cannot go back to it. And the time is not automatically added to the next subject. So you need to take note of that. Now, to answer the questions, you just select your preferred option, and to navigate, you just use the previous or next button as shown on the screen. Now, you will notice colors at the bottom. Now, a green colored number indicates a question that you have answered, whereas a red colored number indicates a question that you have skipped. So by viewing this, I see that I skipped question 4, question 5, and to go to the numbers or to those questions in particular, you can just click on the question number. So for instance, if I want to move to question 10, I can just click on the number 10. So you can use the previous or next button on the screen to navigate, or you just click on question numbers themselves, whichever one. And you are also free to change your answers. So if I selected this before for this question, I decide that I want to change the option, just click on the new option, and that's been selected. So that's the flow. So as I've said, to navigate the questions, you can use previous, next, or you click on the question numbers itself. Now, what we also noticed is that some people go ahead and use the arrow keys on their keyboard. So they press the forward arrow key or the backward arrow key on their keyboard. Now, for some keyboards, it works. But what we've also seen is that because we are all using different kinds of computers with different kinds of soft systems, OS running on them. For some people, we've seen that when you use the forward keyboard key, it not only moves your question forward, it also changes your options to the next one. So for instance, if you had chosen D for as the correct answer for a particular question, you want to move to, say, question 11, it will not only move you to question 11, but it will also change your answer from D to E. So that is why we do not ask you to use your keyboard arrow keys, because we all have different types. So to navigate the questions, use previous, next, or you click on the numbers itself. So either of the two options, you can use that to navigate the test. So I'm going to go ahead and submit this subject. And as you can see, I have another subject which has automatically loaded for me. So the format is pretty much the same as I explained before. So, and as you can see, the timer got reset all over again. So just going to go ahead and trigger the submission. So it's two things. So if your timer runs out, if your timer counts down to the end, the system will automatically submit for you. But in my case, if you want to submit ahead of time, you are free to do that. And you will have this message displayed on the screen, test submitted successfully. Now, for this demo, I actually used a Chrome browser. But for your own test, you will be doing it on the Cipm browser. The process is pretty much the same. Everything I've shown you is pretty much the same. The only difference is that for the Cipm browser, the system is going to lock down your computer such that you will not be able to open other applications or visit other pages until you either leave the examination completely or the examination is over entirely. So that's the difference between the Cipm browser. Now, if you have downloaded the Cipm browser from previous examinations, you do not need to do that again. That same Cipm browser you used before, you can use it again. However, if you haven't, in the communications that you will receive, you will receive a communication that contains the download link for the Cipm browser, which you can use to download it. Another thing that I would like to point out is that this system is artificial intelligence based and proctoring system that, it's a very, very intelligent system, because what we're seeing is that sometimes some people don't believe in the capabilities. Or how will the system know I'm doing something wrong? How can it tell that somebody else is in the room? How can it tell that I'm not looking at my screen? How can it tell that there's a phone in my view? All those things. The system has been intelligently programmed to pick out all these different things. It has a whole load of activities and very effective and efficient monitoring that it is doing. So we're just going to advise that, once the examination, you have logged in to start your test, you should know that you are already under examination conditions, and just follow examination rules, follow the guidelines that have been given to you, and you will definitely not have any problems. Now, the next point I want to just quickly touch on is, I know the next problem is some people talk about internet. So internet, yes. So we understand that internet sometimes can fluctuate. First, the data requirement for this thing is not that heavy. So you don't need to buy 20 gigabytes or 40, 50 gig. It's not that you don't need that much data to actually run this test successfully. And the other part is that the system, we understand that we live in a society. We live in a society where the network bandwidth is not so good. So the system has been designed to effectively accommodate low bandwidth situations. On our own end, we're not going to be leaving you alone. And we're on test day, we actually actively monitor the situation or the assessment situation of every single candidate. So if there's any problem on your system, we will definitely spot it before you do. And then, the best way to get yourself ready for all of this, all of these things I've explained, all of these things that you've seen, is once you receive, the instructions along with the details on how to take your practice test, please go ahead and take that practice test, because the practice test is practically the same thing, replicates the same thing you will experience on test day. You will make use of the safe exam browser, your internet, everything is the same. The only difference is you are not seeing live questions. And the practice test, you can take it on as many computers as you want, or as you need to, and as many times as you have to. So a lot of times we see that, people that have issues whatsoever on test day are those people that did not even read the instructions at all, did not bother to practice at all. And, on test day, they have questions or they get confused. So I just recommend that you go through the instructions when they are sent to you, and please just take advantage of the practice test. Do it as many times as you feel that you need to, so that you get accustomed to, especially if you have not done it before. Yeah, so some people might have taken it a couple of times. It's not bad if you test it again, because from when you took it now, some things might have changed on your computer. You don't know whether something has gone wrong. So do it again just to make sure that your computer is fine, just to refresh your memory on what the process is all about. To be sure, you can also use it as an opportunity to test your internet strength. It's okay if you need something else. You can also use that to test that. And if you're new to the process, you can also take advantage of that so that you're familiar. So come test day, it's something that you're comfortable with. It's something that you already know about, and it's very easy for you. So yes, thank you.
Gio,
Yeah, going Asamo, are you there?
okay, thank you, Shagun. So, Gio, over to you. So after the presentation, if you have questions, just drop your questions in the Q&A. So we'll start attending to your questions now. If you have any question, drop in Q&A, not in the chat box. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Shagun, for that presentation. I know there are questions. Sorry, I was having some kind of challenges, technical challenges from here. That's why you could not hear me earlier. No, there are questions in the chat room and in the Q&A room as well. So please, are we going to do it now?
Okay,
Samuel,
so
can you read?
yes. Okay, let me read the questions out. So question
Can you
from,
read those questions and let's answer that? If there are questions that have been answered, that have been treated, and a similar question is answered, I mean, have been answered before, you don't have to go through that question again. So just pick the questions one after the other and let's go through.
okay, so question from Ikemini Idem. Please, I was unable to register for Intermediate 2, though I had failed a course in Intermediate 1 and was ready to resit and take all courses in Intermediate 2. But I could only register for a receipt and pay dues without being able to register for Intermediate 2.
Okay, thank you. What has happened is that that person has clicked on receipt only instead of clicking on receipt and the next level. So let us send a mail to exams@cipmnigeria.org. Please, Samuel, type that email address again in the chat board, exams@cipmnigeria.org. So from the back end, we are going to resolve it and you'll be able to register for the entire courses you want to register for. There is no basis for any ability to write as many number of papers as you want. Please send that mail. Next one, please.
Okay, anonymous. Please, my question is for those of us who would connect the internet of our phone to the system for use, how do we keep the phone away while we are using it, knowing well that if the phone is too far from us, the network would be slow?
No, that's why I mentioned earlier. As I'm hosting you now, I'm hosting you with my hotspot. That's what I'm using. I'm hosting you with my hotspot, and it's not anywhere near me yet. I don't go off. So in fact, many of us who have family members we are sharing the network with, you can put your network in the living room, whereas you are in the bedroom working. The internet is still strong, it's still connecting, and that's why I will still mention what I said earlier. I'm going to repeat what I said earlier, that you have to be very sure that your internet is strong where you want to write the exams from. It is not enough for you to have tested your examination in the strength of your network in your office from your office location and you want to use this judgment when you know pretty well that you want to write that examination from your home. So you need to go and test the strength of your network from the location where you want to write your examination. That is the rule, that's the principle. If you don't want any disappointment. And I will advise that you have more than one network at a go, so that if one goes down, another one will come up instantly. And put the two of them on automatic connect, auto connect, so that and switch on the two of them. If one goes off, another one should come up immediately. Thank you. Over to you, Samuel.
All right, thank you, Jill. Afeni Joshua. Good afternoon, sir. Please, in the process of the exam, if I have technical assistance, how will I do that?
Okay, we have those issues before. In the process of examination, you have issues, you have technical issues, and there are numbers that are going to be sent to you. So there are numbers that are going to be given to you. There is a need for you to, if there is any need for you to contact those numbers, you contact. If there is any need for you to send mail, you send mail. If there is any need for you to screenshot, screenshot. Though we know at that moment the um, proctor, the video monitoring you is going to flag you for malpractice, but we have a way of sorting it out at the back end, that this person is because of the problem that this person has, that this thing happened. There's a way. If you have technical challenges, please feel free to contact all the platform that have been given to you. Communicate effectively. Thank you. Over.
Okay. Omombolanle Benjamin, please, can we get the test link posted here?
Can they get
The test link?
the test link posted here? Okay, the test link for every individual is unique. Your own is a unique identifier that is going to be customized to you, and you are going to be given. It's going to be sent to you. So it's not a general, it's not one login details sent to everybody. No, that way. It doesn't work that way. Okay. So we will send to you. That's where I started from, and that's the statement I started with. That 2 weeks to the examination, we start sending login details to individual candidates. Thank you. Over to you.
Okay, this is a similar question. How do we download the exam web on our website?
Cipm browser, there is a presentation. The presentation slide we started with has a link to that Cipm browser. So once you have that, we are going to circulate it very shortly. Once you have that, just click on that link in that presentation. You are going to the thing is going to take you to the right version of the Cipm browser, and you just download and start using. But if you have downloaded Cipm browser before and is still working, and you have not changed your computer or your laptop, you don't have to download again. You don't have to download again. Thank you.
Okay, so will there be any mock exam? And when is the next diet?
Okay, the next, because we have not written the current diets that we are preparing for. So is the next diet is in March 18 and 19, then followed by the diet that is coming up in June. Okay, so what's the second question?
Mock exam. Will there be any mock exam?
Hello, mock examination. Okay. Yes, from that presentation that we are going to send to you, it's not mock exams really. It's okay, we can call it mock exam, because you are going to have access to the test environment, and you are going to have access to practicing with questions, with past questions. So you can see everything yourself as you score. So that's what we have for you. And that's going to come up shortly. Shagun. Hello, Shagun. Let me just clear this from Shagun.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to ask, just to clear, that presentation that we are going to, the slide will contain that link to the test platform, right?
Yes.
So once you get that presentation, just go to the page that has that link to the test environment. You are going to have access to the test environment, and you are going to practice with many practice questions. Over.
Okay, so message from Mary Omolaye. Good afternoon, sir. The laptop I want to use for the exam has no inbuilt webcam. I had to purchase an external webcam to serve that purpose. But one of the examination, let me through the question. But one of the examination guidelines is that my surrounding will be scanned 360. Most webcams scan at 180 degree. Can I use the webcam like that? Chairman.
Yeah, so if you're going to be using an external camera, it makes it even better, because you can rotate the camera. You don't have to rotate the system. So if you're going to be using an external webcam, you rotate the webcam 360 degrees. However, if it's an inbuilt webcam, like if it's your laptop webcam. So that means because it's inbuilt, you might have to rotate your entire device 360 degrees. But if it's an external one, you can just rotate the webcam itself 360 degrees.
Thank you. Abiodun Oluwamayowa. Please, is it a must we pay the due before we print out the photo card?
Okay, so if you have not, dues are paid once a year. And because this is the first diet in the year, you need to pay your annual due. You can print out your photo card. If you don't print it, if you don't pay it, it will not allow you to complete your registration. And registration is completed by printing of your photo card. That's how it works. Next diet, you will not need to pay your annual due again before you print out your photo card. Over.
Okay. Good afternoon, sir. So I am only receiving 2 papers. I failed in the last diet. One of them starts by 10 a.m. on the first day. Do I log on by that exact time, or I can log on by 9 like normal? Gio. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, Gio, are you there?
Sorry, the network trip. I just came back now. What
Okay,
was the
so
last question?
okay, the question from Adiza Shitu is that I am only receiving 2 papers. I failed in the last diet. One of them starts by 10 a.m. on the first day. Do I log on by that exact time, or I can log on by 9 a.m.?
Okay, you should log in by quarter or 10 minutes to enable you to do the environmental scan. Thank you.
Okay, this is a question from Blessing. I'm a nursing mother. In case my baby cries from the other room, hope it won't be considered as exam malpractice.
Okay. Hello?
Hello? Did you get the question?
Yes, in case your baby cries, I know you are going to attend to the baby. That's a very peculiar case. We have had instances like that where people even had to show their babies. Camera, this is my baby. Oh. So we've had cases like that. In many cases, those things are involuntary action. And any good mother or good parent, when you hear the cry of your child or your children, you want to attend to them. At least you want to know what is happening to be sure that they are not in danger. So that is permitted. Even when you are flagged, you are going to be cleared eventually. Thank you. So, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so it is very, very good and advisable for those people who were using their phone to connect. It means that the challenge I just experienced now, you are going to experience it, because once a call comes in, your internet is going to be cut off instantly. Your connection is going to be cut off instantly. So it is very, very important that you just invest, is it 10,000, 15,000 naira or MiFi, just get it connected, get the network that works for you and continue to enjoy your work. It is very, very, except where you do not have option, then you may risk it through your mobile phone hotspot. But there is a danger in using your hotspot, in the sense that once you receive a call like this, once a call comes in, it cuts you off. Thank you. Over to you.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Um, Hello, I am to receive 2 papers, but my photocard is showing all the normal courses. Does this mean I have to write all the papers again?
Please repeat the question.
Okay, I am to receive 2 papers, but
Okay. I heard. You are to receive
okay,
2 papers. Please focus on the 2 papers you are to write. Ignore the other ones. Listen on your timetable. Focus on the receipt you are to write only. Thank you. Over.
okay. Please, I was very sick and did not have the opportunity to register for exam form, but I have paid. If I don't understand the
Okay,
question.
you have paid. How did you pay? Because payment, except if you went to the bank to pay. Because it was, I mean, it is during the examination registration process that you are asked to pay if you are using online registration. So I'm not sure I understand. Four two seven four. Let's have that conversation and land it today. Thank you.
Okay, so please, for instance, if I'm using generator and it's off in the process of the exam and we are told not to leave the exam seat, how am I going to do that? Gio, did you get the question?
Okay, I think he's off again, but the response to that is you just have to make provisions for this sort of thing. So if your computer can go on for a bit before before it can last you to the end of the examination, well then that's fine. But if not, you might have to have somebody else that can assist you with that in the event where your power goes off. Somebody can be outside to sort that out.
Okay, thank you. So Nancy, the safe exam browser I downloaded is not working, or should I say I couldn't set it up. Is there any other one CIPM will send to us?
Okay, so it's important that the safe exam browser that you're supposed to use to download will be sent to you. So we're not asking you to go and Google safe exam browser and download it, because the truth is there are different versions of safe exam browser on the internet, and there's no way for you to know the exact version that you're supposed to use. So only use the link that has been provided to you to download the safe exam browser, or if you have used it before. Now, once you've downloaded it and installed it for, once you've downloaded it and installed it on your computer, there's no additional setup that's required, and you don't need to go and open Safe Exam Browser. Safe Exam Browser is not like your normal Chrome or Firefox or the rest that when you download and install, you have to go and open them to use them. You don't have to do that. So on your exam page, once you've logged in successfully, you will see a link that says click here to launch your assessment. Once you click it, the system will automatically launch. Safe Exam Browser is automatically launched and set up. So you don't need to, once you've downloaded and installed it, you won't have any issues. You can also test it out with the practice test. Once you receive the practice test link, you can test it out. It will also use Safe Exam Browser so that you're familiar with it.
Okay. So Oluwaseun Orefejo, for those of us that have 2 to 3 receipts, please, what time are we writing the exam?
Okay, you have 3 receipts. Just follow the regular timetable, as if you are writing the entire paper. So the normal timetable, just locate on your timetable where the course you are writing is located. So just use the same timetable for the regular candidates. Use it to write your exams. That's how it works. Over.
Okay. Please, if I can't download, can I please print out in color and snap with my camera? So I guess this person is referring to photocard.
Yes.
Oh.
So you can do that. You can use either option. You can download and snap, or you upload.
Okay, please, are this process for the exam or just for the tests?
Which of the processes?
The pre-test process.
The pre-test process is just for tests. It's not for the exams. Which one is pre-test that we are talking about? Because I can have to understand in here, there is one that looks like mock exams that I talked about. Then there is a environmental scanning process. I don't know the pre-test you are talking about. If it is the link that familiarizes you with the examination platform, then it's going to be before the examination date. And anything you need to do with that link should finish before the examination date. You are going to be given a fresh login details through which you are going to access the examination platform. On the days of the examination, first, like 10, 15 minutes to your first, you need to do your environmental scan. So you scan your environment and you continue writing your exam. So if it is environmental scanning you are referring to, it will happen on the day of the exam, before each exam. I mean, before you commence your examination for each day. Shagun, any addition?
Yeah, so the pretest, basically, if you're referring to the part where you take your pictures, record your environment, and record your voice as well, that's done at the beginning of every exam. So it's the beginning of every day that you have to write. That's done. And then if it's the practice test you're talking about, the practice test link is separate from the exam. It just familiarizes you with the examination environment. And it also includes, all these other things I've mentioned, the environmental check and the rest. It also includes that. So yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you. Please, is there a way to change my photo card picture? Because I had issues with my last exams. My photo card was not accepted due to the picture on it, and that delayed me. Gio, Okay, let me attend to that. Messi, Fumilayo, your photo card, you can change your photo card, but if you have an issue with the pictures you have on your photo card, probably it's too tiny, you can send a mail to exams@cipm.org. So we can look at it. So Francisca Inena, can the exam be taken in any venue of your choice? Shegun.
Yes, it can, as long as it meets the examination requirements. So there's no interruptions, nobody's interrupting you. There's nobody else in the background of your test while you're taking the test. The environment is also quiet and provides you with the internet facility. So it could be your personal home, your office, a digital library, whichever suits you. So whichever works, as long as it meets, these guidelines. Yes.
All right, thank you. So to record, do you physically have to move the device 360, that's a table, floor, and ceiling, or does it happen automatically?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Okay, so to record, that's to do the 360 recording. So do you have to move your device physically, that's on the table and the ceiling, or does it happen automatically?
So you have to move your webcam. So if your webcam is, for instance, on your laptop is inbuilt, that would mean that you have to move your laptop physically. So you have to move the laptop physically and scan the room 360. So do a 360-degree rotation of the room. And then you also show the table, the floor, and the ceiling. So if, like I said, if the webcam is inbuilt, is on your laptop, for instance, it means that you have to physically move the laptop. However, if you're using an external webcam, one that is, especially if you're going to use a desktop and the webcam is external, it means that you don't have to move the device. You can rotate the camera itself. So whichever.
Okay. So I just went online to convert the exam photo card from PDF to JPEG, but it separated the document into 4 pages. Can we still upload the 4 like that on the exam day?
So the most important page is the summary page, the page that has your photograph on it. I think that's that. I'm not sure, but I think that's the first page. The one that has your picture on it, that page that has your picture on it, that's the most important page. So that's the particular one that you need to upload.
Okay, so can you also go back to a previous question answered, or not to change or update answers?
Yeah, as I showed through my demo, you are free to navigate in between questions and change answers as you like.
Please, after I finish my first paper, can I continue the next paper immediately, even if it's not yet time to start the second paper?
Yeah, so the next paper for you is always loaded automatically. So once it shows up on your screen, you can load it up and start.
Okay. Must headset or earpiece be worn, or we can speak to the system directly?
So earphones are not allowed. So if you look at the rules and regulations, it's stated that you're not supposed to have any form of earphones or headsets on. You don't need it. You don't need it.
Okay. So will the test submit even if you omit to answer some questions?
Sorry, I didn't get that. What?
Will the test submit even if you omit to answer some questions?
Yeah, so the test will submit regardless of whatever you've done on it. So once your time is up, the system will submit whatever work you have done. And even you on your own, if you want to submit at whatever point it is, you can submit at whatever point.
Okay. So there's a question from Nelson. I am presently trying to register, and after I put in my card details, I get this screen that says connecting to 3D secure. Then it ends with an error message that reads cardinal commas took too long to respond. Okay, so Nelson, I guess it's a network issue with your bank or the payment platform. So you can send a mail to exams@cipmnigeria.org with the error message you received. So you can to confirm if it's actually from our end or from your bank. Thank you. Okay, if Unaya is asking, can I still register today? Yes, you can still register today. If you have not registered for the examination, today is deadline for the regular registration, while late registration commences tomorrow and ends on Sunday. So if you're here to register, you can register today. Can we have a demo link for a trial before the exam?
Yeah, definitely. The practice test link will be circulated before the exam.
This is from Ola Kunle. My room has TV and other electronic gadgets, which will be turned off during the exams. Can I still attempt the exam in my room, or I have to look for an open space free from electronic gadgets?
Well, you can still take the exam in the room if as long as we expect that the television will be turned off, and you are not going to be using any of the gadgets during the test. So as long as that is adhered to, we shouldn't have any problems.
Okay. But if I want to upload my card from the system, how will I do that? Since the browser will shut down all I have on the system.
The button to upload is there. So once you click on it, it will prompt you to select the location. So that can happen.
Okay. Okay. Nothing was said about calculator for those doing calculations.
There will be an on-screen calculator which you can use.
So can I carry along my scientific calculator for further
Calculators,
research?
calculators are not allowed. The system will provide you with an on-screen calculator.
Okay, so please, when do we get to print our photo card? You have to print your photo card immediately you complete your payment. Can I use a MacBook for the exam?
No, please, only Windows systems are allowed.
Will practice tests be available for everyone, both those to write on a later diet? Well, it will be available for those who have registered. Okay, so this from anonymous attendee. Please, Please, is it the institute that will give us login details, or we are going to use CIPM registration number and the password?
Okay, Dragnet is going to send a login detail to you, and that process will commence 2 weeks to the examination. You are going to have a login detail. Dragnet will send it to you 2 weeks to the examination, and that will continue for a week. So a week to the examination, we want to be very sure that every person, every individual, all candidates have access details to the examination. That's how it's going to work. It's not your examination number. There's going to be a login detail forwarded to you by mail. Thank you.
For one sitting for it in June, can one have access to the pretest now for those who are writing such exam for the first time?
There's no problem. Once we send to you, we will circulate to student community. There's no problem around that. You can just click on that link. You familiarize yourself. You can prepare to any level. No preparation is too much. So that's just it. And the earlier you start, the better it is for you.
Okay. So are iOS device now allowed for the exam?
iOS device. Shagun, answer that question, please. Shagun.
Sorry, Joe. I lost my network. I didn't get the question.
Okay, so
Do you allow
iOS
iOS device?
No, please. It's only Windows. No iOS device.
How soon will result be out for Match Diet?
Okay, we have set a standard that 2 weeks after the examination, after the last paper, you should get your result out. If you don't, that's if you are not flagged by the proctoring video. People who do not have any issue, you have your results out in 2 weeks. Then 1 week after that, we screen out people whose case are not that critical, who will not have to face panel. So we look at all cases, all flagged issues, all issues at hand. We evaluate them. The people who we think will not have to give any explanation, any further explanation, then we release their result a week after, while other people will be invited to come and explain what happened in that video. And the way the process goes for those people who have attended before, all the decisions we are taking are based on the evidences provided by your video that monitored your activities end to end. So we are going to play the video for you to watch. We are going to see where the online monitoring video flagged you, and we will ask you to explain what happened there. Once you give satisfactory explanation, there are 2 or 3 possibilities. In fact, we have 3 possibilities. You may be exonerated, one. You may be asked to repeat paper, and you may be suspended. You may be exonerated, you may be asked to repeat that paper, or you may be suspended. So it depends on the criticality of your case. Over. Samuel.
Okay, so is there a Telegram group or a platform for registered students?
Please, there is a Telegram platform for student community. Whether you have registered, whether you've not registered, is there for student community. So Samuel, please put the link in the chat.
Okay. That has been attended to. Good afternoon. I registered to write the exam in a center. What do I need to do to make the process smooth?
You register to write the exam in the center, a CBT center or a cyber cafe. That's all you need to know. We need to have that detail. If it's a CBT center, it's a standard center. If it's a standard center, it's a standard center. And all they do there is to write examination. The most important thing you need to do is to ensure that as a checker, all those rules, the rule that nobody should interfere with your examination process, have it at the back of your mind. So wherever you are registering, wherever you are writing your examination from, ensure that you adhere to that. Anywhere you want to write the examination from may not matter for as long as that venue will enable you comply 100% with the rules and regulation. But I will not advise anybody to go to cyber cafe to go and write the examination, because I am like 99.9% sure that other people will come and interfere, and you are going to be flagged for that. So that does it. Thank you.
Okay. Please, is it possible to see our scores alongside with the grade when the result is out?
Okay, your scores alongside with the grade when the result is out. Well, we are going to deliberate on that. Is your score is your score. However, there is a committee of council in charge of this certification through examination education committee. We are going to table it before them. It's your score. Of course, your score should not be confidential to you. I have my score all through the examination I've been writing. You see the percentage and you see the grade. So that does it. The only thing that we need to test from behind is the platform hosting your result, which is Portal. Its ability to interpret that and accommodate that. That's the only thing we need to check from back end. And we are going to do that from the back end and carry the education committee along. Whatsoever decision that is doable, we'll let you know, and you are going to see it through your results. If that is doable, you are going to see it by the time we are releasing your results. If it is not doable, you may not be able to see it by the time we are releasing your results. However, if you want to know your score, you can send a mail to exams@cipmnigeria.org. We are going to respond to you. We are going to respond to you. You'll see your score for everything. It's not confidential to you. That's just it. It's not confidential. Thank you.
Okay. So what if I'm sharing my office space with someone? Will the system flag me out?
It's going to flag you. It's going to flag you. You don't have to read that question. You don't have to complete reading that question somewhere. It's going to flag you. Anytime your webcam cites any face around you, it's going to flag you. It will flag you. Thank you.
Okay, what if there is a power failure and the room is dark pending the time generator we put on?
Okay. This is Nigeria, and we cannot predict and predetermine when the power will be off. If I want to do things like this, if you want to host program that lights must not go off, even the institute, we ensure that we are on generator. However, that may be very expensive for some people. It is very, very important. So if you cannot do your generator, there are lamps that you charge. While charging it, they are off. While charging, they are off. Immediately the light goes off, they come up. So you can make use of that to ensure that there is no dark. The room doesn't go through any form of darkness at any point in time. That's how it works. Otherwise, you are going to be flagged. Thank you.
Okay, so please, is it possible for me to defer my already registered exam for this from this diet to the next?
Okay, that is done on individual merit basis. Please send a mail to exams@cipmnigeria.org and justify why we should allow you do that. By policy is on health ground, but if there are other justifications that are convincing enough, why not? Write write to exams@cipmnigeria.org, and you have to do that as urgent as possible.
Okay. Good afternoon. I have registered for the exam, but I have not received any response about my photo card.
Your
Is there any
photo,
change?
okay,
Go
your
on, go
photo
on.
card should be printed by you. Go and log onto your platform, to your portal. Your photo card should be printed by you. However, if you are still having difficulties in printing photo card, contact exams@cipmnigeria.org. There are phone numbers that are designated for this examination, or designated, dedicated to examination registration or matters relating to examination. You can call those lines. And at the same time, you can send a mail to exams@cipmnigeria.org. We are going to assist if there are technical issues. However, if there are no technical issues, you can go back. Your registration will not be, your data will not drop on registration platform if you do not print photo card. So print photo card is the last step in your examination registration process. Please take note of this. Print card is the last step in your examination registration process. And it is after you print your photo card that your examination registration data drops for us to work with. And that's when you can write this examination. Thank you. If you have issues, let us know, please. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, this is a question from Lydia Romolaro. Please, can we get a sheet and pen beside our laptop for calculations? And can we use external calculator?
You cannot use external calculator. So the calculator on your screen is sophisticated enough to handle the questions that will be given to you. That is one. In terms of pen and paper, yes, plain sheet, plain, not with a dot, because you are going to accredit, you are going to scan that sheet by the time you are entering the examination or testing environment. You are going to accredit it, you are going to scan it. So do that, that is allowed for calculation related courses only, because by the time you are flagged, we are going to investigate which of the papers you are writing at that moment. If it's not related to calculation, you have no business bringing in a paper and a pen for calculation. But if it is calculation, then bring your paper and your pen. It must be plain sheet, and you must accredit it. You must scan it for it to work. Over.
Thank you. I'm receiving for 2 courses, but the exam is 18th and 19th March 2022. So my question is, which day do I have to write the receipts?
Answer that question.
Okay, so
if it's on the same level, if it's on the same level, oh yeah, answer, please.
Okay, so Ngozi, if the 2 receipts are on the same level, so you have to write the papers as stated on the timetable. So, but if the receipts are from 2 different levels, then you take the lower level first on the receipt day, as we have it on the timetable. Then the second paper will be taken as stated on the timetable. For instance, if you have a receipt in learning and development in intermediate 2, and you have a receipt in insurance in PE1, so you have to write learning and development as receipts, where you write the insurance or the date is written on the timetable.
Okay. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. Please, I'm not well prepared for this exam. Can I sit for November session? Also, hope I'm still a student member as I only paid for the dues.
Okay, no problem. If you have been given admission letter and you have paid your acceptance fee, your membership is still valid till the next 7 years, starting from the date on your admission letter. So if you are not prepared, there is no basis. Gambling with examination, gambling with money, there's no basis if you are not prepared. And the next diet is not November, the next diet is in June. So it's nearer than you think. That's just it. It's nearer than you think. Your membership remains till after 7 years, and you can write the next diet in June if you are not prepared for March diet. Thank you.
Okay, so this is another question from Toby Adegoke. Please, I registered and got my admission letter in December 2021, and I was asked to pay 4,500 for annual dues. But I'm aware I'm not supposed to pay annual dues for the first year.
Okay. Annual due is called annual due, and it's holds within a calendar year. If you register in January, you are going to pay 2021. If you register in December, for as long as it is 2021 that is stated, you are to pay for that 2021. Once another year comes, you are going to pay annual due for that year. That's how it works. So if you have registered since January, for instance, January to December is 1 year. So what we deal with is the calendar year. In other words, irrespective of the months you are registering, you pay your annual due, you are still going to pay for the next year. It's like somebody becoming a member, inducted as an associate in December. So you've paid your 9,000 as an associate in that December. Annual due is due for payment from January the following year. That's how it works. And that's the brain behind it. Sorry, that's how it works. Thank you.
Okay. So I think most of the questions are repeated.
Okay, please
questions.
allow people to talk. Let people raise their hand and talk. Peter, are you there? Peter Clark.
Yes, Gio, I'm here.
Okay, so allow people to talk, please. Allow people to ask questions.
Okay.
If the questions you want to ask have not been asked, or you are not satisfied, you are not clear about earlier responses to those questions, then you can go ahead and ask your questions.
Okay, so Oluwatosin, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Hello. Hello.
Oluwatosin, ask your question, please.
Please. Oh, I'm not sure on the one.
Okay, please ask another one. Bring another one, another person.
Okay, Emmanuel Akindele.
Oh, thank you, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Hello, Emmanuel. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, loud and clear, Emmanuel.
All right. The question I want to ask is this, sir. For those in PE2, how soon will the deduction come off after the release of the result? And what is the financial requirement?
Okay, for those in PE2, the induction should come between April and May. Okay, so you have that induction between April and May. The financial requirement is around 7, including your balance of annual due, because you have paid 4,500 for this before you do the exam as a student. Then all you need is to add another 4,500 to make it up as an associate member at the point you are doing your introduction. I think the total is around 72,000 or so. Samuel.
It's around 62 to 60.
No. Because they are paying, yes, plus 9,000 annual due is going to be added.
Yes.
So, that
letter of invite.
Yes. Stay on the letter of invite, but a maximum of 71,000 if you have not paid for that particular year. Thank you. Oh yeah.
Okay, so Ayemide that is see. Ayemide that is see.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ayemide.
Yes. So I think I mentioned it using the Q&A, but I don't know if it was answered. So my question is the time personalized? Because I know there is a time stated in the timetable. That when the time ends and I'm still writing my exam, is it going to stop, or is like a personalized time? You can write it anytime.
No, there is a time range within which you start writing your examination. There is a time range within which you are going to start and finish your examination. Once you have spent that 1 hour, take for instance, if you are writing 2 papers in a day, after the first paper, you have access to the second paper immediately. So once your time elapses, then you'll be asked to submit, or the system submits for you automatically. That's how it works. However, we understand that some people do have one or more technical challenges. If you have issues relating to technical challenges, we are going to still have some kind of consideration to ensure that we put you through and still allow you to write within the allotted time for that paper. So that's how it works. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so Asbiyala.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah, thanks so much for the good job you've been doing.
You're welcome.
Sir, please, you said you were going to share the Telegram link, which I'm still expecting. I don't know if I've missed out. So please, will you kindly do that?
Okay, I will drop it. I drop it in the chat box.
Okay, someone is going to redrop it. Someone is going to redrop it.
Thank you,
sir.
Chat,
yes, just pick it from the chat room.
Thank you, sir.
Samuel.
Okay, Michael Adie.
Sir?
Go ahead.
Michael, go ahead.
Yeah, so my question is, the immediate past questions, they've not been uploaded. How do we get it?
The immediate past questions are not been uploaded. Okay,
Yes,
they will be uploaded. They will be uploaded. I know that approval came to me and I've given that approval. So we find out, please, Samuel.
Okay.
Do everything you need to do to ensure that those questions are uploaded. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for all you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Okay. Vivian Ibe.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes. My question is, I'm talking about the upload of the photo card.
Yes.
Now, does it mean we have to like print and then scan to enable us to put that have it in our system? What you're saying?
Shagun, please answer that question. Do they have to print and scan, or they can save on their computer and upload.
So I think we've answered this a couple of times already. That says there are two options. So if you are going to download a photocard onto your system and upload it, you need to make sure that it is in either PNG, JPG, or JPEG format. One of the two. But if you want to take a physical snapshot of it, you can print it out and then snap it. So either ways, you can either print and snap on the day, or you upload directly. You have both options, whichever suits you.
Okay.
Okay, Oreva Ozomaru.
Yes. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good evening, sir. I really appreciate your good work, sir. I have two questions, sir.
Okay, please go ahead.
The first one I have is, during the last exam I took in November last year, I wasn't allowed to use plain sheets. Though I was able to get a plain sheet, but I wasn't allowed to use plain sheets for that November diet. So I don't know, how can that be resolved? That's the first question. Then the second one is, I also was not allowed to use a mouse to navigate easily. So how can I go about it?
Okay. Two questions now, and those two questions, you are in control of the process. You are not allowed to use paper. Who stopped you from using paper for calculation is what I do not know. Because nobody is there, no invigilator. Is you and your video monitoring you. And what I said earlier was that all you need to do is to scan. During the environmental scanning, accredit that paper and biro, and it must be for a paper that has to do.
I did, sir. I did, but the system.
Why were you not allowed?
I think the system did not permit it. It keeps saying invalid until I removed it.
You remove what?
Until I threw the paper away out of frustration.
Shegun, can you explain that?
Not clear. I don't really understand, because the system doesn't.
Let me tell you what actually happened there.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with the paper. Only that your internet, the network and the strength of your network was good enough to enable you right. After immediately, it was coincidental. There's no relationship between what happened and what you did at all. It was just coincidental. It was coincidental. So okay, nothing will flag you. Then the second one, you were unable to use the calculator. What happened?
No, a mouse, please. A mouse.
So it has to do with you and your computer alone. And so you should be able to navigate through your mouse anytime. Right. So it's a technical issue relating to your computer, please. It's not the exam platform.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
Welcome.
Okay, so Adasu Stephen. Adasu Stephen. Okay, Deborah Onositale.
Good evening. So my own questions on the Q&A that I don't think they've not been answered.
Okay, please go ahead and ask.
So I was saying that there's a question that was asked that was particular to me. If I can differ based on an exchange program that I will have to do.
Okay, you have a program that is clashing with the examination.
Yes.
Okay, please write a mail and state all these reasons. Write a mail and send your exams at cipmnigeria.org. You'll be attended to.
Okay, and in that mail, what is the content? Am I just going to state that?
The content is that you have registered for exam, put the evidence of payment for that examination, put the details around the other program that is clashing with this one.
Okay.
And ask for deferment. We will respond to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Happiness Osagari.
Yes, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, my question is it compulsory to do the exam in a closed place like an office? Can it be done in an open space like a garage, but it will be very quiet? Or must it be in an enclosed place?
They to be quiet.
Okay.
For there not to be noises around you. That's the most important thing. If you are living alone, or your compound is big enough and there is a big tree that can provide a shade to you, and you want to write your exam there, it's allowed. The most important thing is that there shouldn't be any interference, whether by noise or whether by movement of persons. That's the most important thing.
Okay, so my second question, as regards the Safe Exam browser, are we to download this on our system, or I don't?
Okay, the Safe Exam browser, if you have been writing this examination, online examination, CIPM examination before, you don't have to change or download the Safe Exam browser again. However, if you have changed your computer, you need to download again. If you are writing it for the first time, you need to download the Safe Exam browser, and a presentation is going to be sent to you. In that presentation, there is a link that will take you to the right version of the Safe Exam browser. Okay.
Okay, because I tried downloading it on my system, and it took me through a configuration process that I really don't understand. So it's not working.
Okay. So by the time you get that presentation and you click on that link,
yes.
And if you are having issues, you can reach out to us.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Yeah.
Additional show. Paul Olatoye.
Good afternoon. Thank you, sirs, for the time. So I made my payments yesterday. I'm writing professional 2 exam. So I made the payments and the annual due. However, I'm not able to print the photo card, as it's telling me that you need to pay your outstanding due of 4,500, which
and you have paid.
I already paid alongside the exam fee. Yeah.
Sorry about that. It's a technical problem that we are going to resolve. Send a mail to exams@cipmnigeria.org. Email to exams@cipm.org. And after that, you can still reach me through a chat on WhatsApp on 08025584274. State the same issue, put your name, your student registration number there, just to ensure that we are shooting from every angle to help resolve the issue. Thank you.
Okay. If I got the number right, 255844274.
Yes. 00.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. Ineka Harlem.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, please, I have a question to ask. You made mention of we printing our photo card before it will be reflected at the CIPM database. Yes. Now, someone like me, when I paid my my exam fees, that very day, I used my phone to do the payment. Then after the payment, there was a way I was able to save it on my phone, which
There is no
later
problem.
on.
Yeah, there is no problem at all. We have it recorded already.
Okay.
So yes, the most important thing is that you download your photo card. It's after the download of your photo card, it remits your data.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, sir.
Welcome.
You're welcome. Mosumola Onodele.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so it's about the exams. Is there any negative marking?
Okay, examination, we don't do negative marking. There's no negative marking at all. You know, in many what's happened and what we have seen, we have written exam before, and especially the web-based exam.
Okay, sir. Then secondly, sir.
Of the inability to pay attention to certain things. Shegun just mentioned, if you want to move, you want to navigate through the next question, please ensure that you use your mouse, because down arrow key or up arrow key by the
I can't hear you again, sir. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. I think in many cases, what happens is that in the process of writing a web-based examination, especially the multiple choice questions, by the time you are choosing the options and you are using your down arrow key, up arrow key to navigate from question to question, as you are navigating, it's also changing your options. We have had instances like that. So that's why you have to be very, very careful. There is no negative marking, nothing called negative marking in the scheme of CIPM. Okay, nothing called negative marking. That is number one. Number two, you should have noticed by now that since we have started this MCQ only, that our questions are practical. They are application questions. Okay, they are application questions. So every topic you are treating, ask yourself, how does this apply in the real time? How does it apply? So it is application. So by the time you are seeing your options, please, you need to choose carefully, because those options will look alike and every option will look right to you if you don't know the practical application of that particular subject matter.
Okay, sir. Then secondly, sir.
Okay.
Can we read? It's not reading out loud, since you're the only one, just to understand the question.
For as long as you are not sounding, for as long as no sound comes out of your mouth, you are reading in, even though your lips are moving, but there is no sound, you can be flagged for that. But any moment, any sound comes out of your mouth, no matter how small or how silent it may be, is going to flag you. The online proctor is going to flag you. Please, the remote proctor is going to flag you.
So sorry, sir. The photo card, about the photo card, do we need to print it out so that we can capture it, or because I have it saved on my desktop already?
If you have it saved on your system, you can upload it from your system for as long as it is saved on the, in the approved format. Shagun,
Yeah,
what are the approved format? JPEG. So you can upload it. Thank you.
Then about the lighting in the room, do we need to put on bulb, or once it's bright, we can? Because I've been hearing people talking about generator things.
So yes, the most important thing is that your room must not be dark. Where you are writing that examination from must not be dark. That's the most important thing. If your windows can be open, you can draw your curtain and there could be enough illumination in the room. You don't have to switch on your generator. The most important thing is that the room must not be dark. That's the rule.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Yes, sorry, Gio, I have to leave in 4 minutes. Once it's 5.
Okay. Even we have to close the yes, we have to close by 5 o'clock. We have to close by 5 o'clock. No problem, Shagun. We need to close by 5 o'clock. So the conversation will continue. If you are not on the Telegram page, go and join me. Drop your questions there, and you'll be responded to. You'll be answered. Okay.
Okay, so in addition, just to let you know that this session is being streamed live on our YouTube channel. So you can as well go back to our YouTube channel to check, to watch this video.
And the listing. Okay.
And listen to all what we've said. So Abimbola Odumbaku.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Good
evening, everyone. I'm here. Okay, my question is about the past questions, and I think that have been asked and it has been answered. So we're expecting it on our portal. Thank you very much for this section. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, one more question, please.
One more. Okay, Elizabeth Richards.
Hello?
Hello, Elizabeth.
Okay, I wanted to ask a question. I've been asking since and no response. I said I have paid my due for the year, but the examination I've not paid for the exam because I've not read enough. So can I write November? Is there any other bat before November?
Okay, I've answered that question. Maybe your network wasn't clear enough that time. I said, if you are not prepared for the examination, there's no basis for registering for that examination. No basis for gambling with your hard-earned money. So another examination is coming up in June. You can prepare for that June diet and register for the June diet. And of course, we are going to open the examination portal immediately, maybe a week, 2 weeks, a week after the completion of this one. So we are opening the registration portal with immediate effect. So for those people who are unable to write this one, you don't have any result you are waiting for, you can go ahead and start registering ahead before the platform will be congested along the line. Thank you.
Okay, also, I was trying to, I don't know if it's because I've not paid for the exam. It's telling me error occurred while loading student portal, this exam photo card.
Which photo card are you talking about? Because if you are not registered for the exam, you don't have access to photo card.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to take one more? Or
thank you very much. No, we can't take more. So I know we have more, but time will not permit us to take more. We have said we are going to spend 2 hours, so it's 2 hours already. I want to say a very big thank you to everyone here present, my team, Samuel, Kelechi, if you are there, very big thank you. Peter, thank you. Dragnet team, a very big thank you to you for staying true. And our success partners, the study center operators here present, we are going to say a very big thank you for your time. And to our candidates, the student community, is because you are existing, we are existing as an institute. Without you, there won't be CIPM. A very big thank you for staying true, and I wish you a very great success during your examination. Thank you, and bye for now.